Mary Murphy for the Women's Wisdom Network, Realty Times, Women in Business, Women in Real Estate in the Men's Room with Murph, and we've got everything covered, I think, today. Today we have a world-class athlete. Yes, you heard me right. An Olympian, you know, the big Olympics thing. Not only that, but she is a mom. She's a businesswoman, and she does great work for her community. Here's the thing about her. Bobsledding is not really a sport that is practiced here in Memphis, Tennessee, because it's generally summer all year long. And yet this woman managed to get herself on the Olympic team. Welcome. We have both her and her husband, because they do a remarkable work. Welcome, Sable Ote and Ruben Ote. Thank
you so much for welcoming us to the call today.
Well, you two are just amazing, because you know, and you didn't tell me this in our pre-interview, but you did mention that you spent most of your adult life clearing hurdles, but they were actually physical hurdles. Will you tell us a little bit about your background? Because getting into bobsledding, not exactly a direct route for a girl from Memphis.
Right. So, well, it kind of all started, grew up here in Memphis, met this gentleman, and I actually got married in high school. We eloped. So from there, moved to San Diego, and that's where he was stationed. And I actually was gonna not run track at all. And I was like, I'm just gonna do nursing. That's it. And things kind of changed. Coach saw me walking across the field, and she was like, "You ran track, don't you?" And I was like, "No, I don't." She's like, "Yes, you do." So from that point on, I was already out of shape. So she would make me run 2 miles like every day. And I was like, this lady doesn't like me, because I gained so much weight from that training. And then it just kind of went up from there. You know, I just started seeing new heights, new potentials. I was running faster times. I was doing really well. And it's because of the different type of training that I had, the different coaching that I had from a different, you know, you think you're good here, and then you go out of Memphis and you're like, wait a minute, I need to work on a couple of things. So, you know, it was just that training that I had out there. And, you know, from there, I went from competing on the community college level, and then I went to 4-year college level to competing independently, found myself training at the Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista, California. And then before I knew it, I was up for trials. And yeah, I was running as fast as I've ever run in my life. And then I found out I was pregnant. So
God works in amazing ways, doesn't he?
Yes.
So that kind of dashed that whole program, didn't it?
It did. And I actually found out when I was visiting Memphis and came back, and I was like, you know, I don't know what happened. I was like, let me go take a test. I think I took like 4 pregnancy tests. They were all positive, by the way. So, so yeah, I came back, and it did take a mental toll on me. To be honest, it wasn't until I spoke to a lady that was working on base with me, because I was actually working for the Marine Corps at that time for the military police. And it wasn't until a young lady told me, you know, she asked me how far along I was, and I told her I was 7 months. I remember this vividly. And I was like, well, how many kids do you have? And she was like, I can't have any. And that's when I was like, man, like, you're being selfish. Like, you've been married for 7 years, you know, you're able to conceive kids. You know, some people can't even do that. And you're upset about being able to give life to someone. You know, I was really, really, really upset, because I'm just like, I didn't even really watch the Olympics or anything. And so, you know, once I talked to that young lady, though, it really made me realize like how blessed I am to be able to bear a child. So I just realized I was being very selfish, but I was very, very upset initially when I found out that I was pregnant, because I was like, I'm not ready. But I tell people all the time, you have to be careful with the words that you use, because I remember when I was like 18 or something, or 19, I can't remember. It's one of those. I remember saying that I would get pregnant or have a kid at age 25. And that's when I had my first kid, when I was 25. Like, it's crazy.
And Ruben, the timing was just perfect on that. So you have Amare, your son, and then you move back to Memphis. And then what happens how does bobsledding get in there?
You want Ruben?
So yeah, I do. I would love to hear from Ruben.
So yeah, she got this bug about she said, I'm just gonna be a coach. I'm just gonna go in the coaching realm. So she was coaching, training, and develop leaders and people up in track in high school and stuff like that. And just being around that competitive edge, she said, I'm thinking about running again. And I was like, well, hey, go do what you do. Leave it all out on the track. And you don't want to have no doubts, don't want to have anything, you resent like, oh, I wish I would have did this.
Right.
So just competing, and one of her god brothers just told her about hey, I'm gonna try out for bobsledding. You should do it. And so she was like, okay. So they had a what was it, a preliminary
Combine.
combine. Yeah, they had a combine out in South Carolina. So we was like, hey, I'll take off work. We'll make it a family trip. We'll drive and go there, and let's see what you do. So
now but you did tell me in the pre-interview that she doesn't do roller coasters and she had never done snow. Okay, help us with this, Ruben.
No.
Yeah, I just don't. It was weird because like it was one time we went to Six Flags, and we got there a little bit late, and we already paid our money, and I was like, look, say, I'm sorry, you're getting on everything. Like, we took that trip, and like we went on one that she thought it wasn't gonna be that bad, but come to find out, everybody that we asked, that was the worst one.
Okay.
So when she got on that one, she was like, that's not bad. Okay. And it was just an adrenaline rush. And she just became, I guess, a adrenaline junkie.
Apparently, because you had a particular position on the bobsledding team. And for those that are not familiar, the person on the end, it's usually a 4-man team or a 2-man team. Am I correct?
It's 2. For women, it's 2.
Okay, I meant to say person, excuse me, but whatever. So 2 women, and you've got the back end, and you do the steering, correct?
No, I don't do the steering. I pray for the steerer. No, so I'm the brakeman. So they usually call us the power of the engine. So where the engine is in the back, and then you have the driver, and the driver drives, and it's kind of like a pulley system that they use to drive. So we start it and we stop it. We brake it at the end. Yeah, and we brake the driver has a really great drive now.
I'm terrified, and I don't do scary things anyway. So tell us about your time at the Olympics. I mean, how many humans get, the small percentage of humans that get to participate in something as in the magnitude of the Olympics. Tell us what year that was and how that worked out for you.
So I started bobsledding in, 2015. And then from there, just really pretty much got to go everywhere. Mostly I was in the North American Cup. So I was in Canada, I was in, Utah, and then we got to do some races and training in Europe. And then we went to the Olympics in 2018 in Korea. So I merely was out there supporting my team. It was amazing just being out there and seeing so many different cultures and so many different people and just being in the atmosphere. You're like, oh my God. Number one, I'm in Korea, this is crazy. And just seeing the ceremonies, and just being around the people, just a huge culture shock. And then just talking to everybody. Everybody's so cool, and everybody's so sweet, and we're just out there and just wanted to win, just wanted to do the best thing that you can do for your family. Everybody's human. That's the best thing. Everybody's human, and everybody's just like, man, they just want to win. They just want to do some great things. Like, even if they don't win, they just want to be great in life. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you're right. I mean, that's the common, the energy that happens at the Olympics is everybody's striving to be the best they can be.
Yeah.
But as a team, did you win?
So we had a couple of our states. So on the regular surgery races, we did really well. I got some second places, 6th places a lot of times, depending on the New York drivers. At the Olympics, we actually placed 2nd and 4th.
Wow, that had to be. I just get chills thinking about that. It had to be outrageous. Now let's turn to Ruben here. Ruben, I can only imagine the dedication, the grit, the tenacity that this woman had to focus on in order to be with the Olympics, because that's the ultimate top. And yet you've got a baby, a business, your own self, and you had to be pretty supportive. And it looks to me like you two are one of the most supportive couples I've been able to talk to. Tell me a little bit about your journey while she was doing that.
Okay. Well, to start it off, we didn't have the business at that particular time when she started. So when she, brought the opportunity when she got 2nd overall, when she went to the combine, she went up there, and we didn't know the responsibilities that was coming after when she went. So not having no sponsorship, everything is coming out of, your account. Food, travel, place to stay, the equipment that you need, helmet is pretty expensive and all that type of stuff. So we just like, wow. But when it's this is you had one time where you could have went to the Olympics, and then you don't usually get a second opportunity like that. And I'm like, look, let's see what happens. Just leave it all out on the floor. So I ain't gonna lie, pockets got kind of thin, but it was just really, we had a shared pressure, and we just figured it out, and man, to God be the glory. But we was just try to control what we can control, and that was our activity every single day.
But
And
it's a stress on a partnership and a marriage. Anyway, aside from the financial, I mean, the time and the travel, I mean, that's a component of the Olympics I don't think people realize, is that unless you're highly sponsored, you pay for everything. But that was great training for you. It's interesting the ways the universe works, because that got you into what you're doing now, which is this amazing program called Triple M Agency. Is that accurate?
yes.
All right. So here's what I heard from you, that in the African American community, as in many others, there is not any specific training for wealth building or for retirement planning. And you took, I mean, here you are, right? Starting over. You had an accident that put you out for a while on top of that. So tell me a little bit about your journey as a couple for this investment company that you have.
Well, just growing up, when we got married, like she said, we eloped and got married at an early age. We come from two different backgrounds, but but collectively, we had different values and principles at that particular time. So if you don't, and any couple, when money is not right, it's a lot of this, right?
It's actually the number one. It's actually one of the number one stresses is finances. And you said you come from different backgrounds. You're not both from Memphis?
Yeah, we're both from Memphis. We're both from Memphis, but her upbringing was different than mine. So it was a lot of stuff that we didn't know, and there's a lot of stuff they didn't know. So we just got exposed to real life, and we wasn't prepared for what comes with that. So and then when life usually happens, nobody has the income to resolve the issues that comes up. You look at this, you look at this pandemic, it's a lot of stuff that, if people can go back and know what was going on now, they would do a lot of things differently. So just looking at it from that perspective, that's what we went through, just not understanding credit, budgeting, how important that stuff is, and not putting money to the side, because one day you want to retire and you don't want to have to worry about your responsibilities. You can go do what you need to do. And we was just tired of just surviving and not being able to live. I've been all across the country and serving the United States, and culture shock, seeing what free enterprise really looks like, and seeing the opportunity that we have in America, where you can come in here with nothing, but you can come up with something. So just saying that, and it was just it was the whole from going to the military, from being married, to just seeing what's out there. It just
how about having a human? Okay. And you had boys eat while you sleep. I mean, boys, my mom had a whole bunch, so I can just tell you they're a different unit. Thank God you didn't have girls, just kidding. But you actually do a lot of education with leadership, a lot of financial fitness tools to mimic what your wife says. And then building a community with business owners. I mean, all of those are components that go beyond just making an individual equipped for life, however it comes. Would you agree?
Yes.
Totally.
So tell us a little bit about how the business looks today. You're a life insurance broker, an entrepreneur, retirement coach. She's a financial fitness coach. She can kick your butt because she's in such good shape, and a life insurance broker as well, which is so interesting because it's not common at all. And you had to get education, you had to get certified. Tell us a little bit about that journey before we wrap this up.
Well, for starters, in order to run a business, I have to start thinking like the people that used to hire me and the people that took the risk to start the business. So it's all about mindset and growing your identity. And how you do that is, the people that you hang around, the books that you read, and the meetings that you attend. So we understood that in order to do something different, you have to have change. And, we just made a decision, and it just started there, and knew that this is not going to be an easy task. And you have to, we bought into, what, in order to have massive success, you have to invest time and money in a business. And the more you grow in a business, the more you have to reinvest in the business. So we knew that we didn't have to do it. We went all in, and it's, every level is a new devil. And, we just looked at, coming up with solutions and not bickering and, complaining and not being a victim. We just said, you know what, it's a new curriculum that we have to master. So just looking at it from that perspective, and just helping other people do the same thing, because, people are looking for a way out, but, you have to be one, proof of concept. So we really said, we have to be the example for people that we're going to lead, or people that they want to follow. And then the second thing is, education of when it comes to what we do currently as far as helping them financially, showing them a different way, because, our school system doesn't really educate us on what we need to know when we jump out and become 18. Every single credit card company or knocking at your door, you don't know.
Well, how about the military? I mean, you visit a military town, and there's all kinds of temptations, pawn shops and credits and everything like that. And so often so young, and young men and young women that have never been really out of their town, so they don't realize that. So you did get certified, and you are running this company. How long have you had the company?
5 years now. 5 years now.
And the name of it is
Triple M Agency.
Millennial
Millennial Movement.
There you go. I mean, hello. No, it's, and I understand. Well, millennials are growing up a little bit, and everybody needs education. I'm sure you have something that in mind that will help and empower younger families to think like you did, because we won't go into the personals, but you had some pretty heavy setbacks in there. And I'm so grateful to LaTrivia, and those of you that are Women's Wisdom Network fans, LaTrivia has only written about 107 books yesterday. You have to check with her every week. And they are amazing. She's an amazing woman. I know that you've done a lot of work here in Memphis, and I hope that people, if someone wanted to reach you, either for speaking and for information about your services, what's the best way to reach you?
My Facebook handle and social media handle is both my name, Sable Ote. So I kept it very simple. Our business name is Millionaire Millennial Movement. We have that. So, and then of course my telephone number, I provide that. It's 901-337-3966. And I do want to also give a thanks to LaTrivia as well, because if it wasn't for her and Deidre Malone as well, she was my PR rep, and that's how I kind of met LaTrivia too. Just opening up their arms to me and really showing me the ropes and just giving me that support, because as a new athlete, I didn't know I needed to get sponsorship, because I felt like that was asking for money, which it is. But, I didn't know, like, you get a master's degree, you feel like you should be asking people for money. And that's how I felt. And it was just like, no, you're an athlete. You're supposed to do this. So, just teaching me that and just taking me under their wings and really helping me, guide me through the process and helping me grow and develop, to be a person that I am, not only in sports, but how, the leader that I am in the community and, amongst the women, so it's very cool. And I do enjoy speaking to a lot of the younger women, because a lot of times after you have a child, you feel like you're supposed to be domestic and just kind of chill out and go and run your errands and cook. And I was like, no, it's more for me, right? And so me and my husband have a different dynamic. We're like 50-50 down the middle. He actually does most of the cooking. I'm a horrible cook. But I clean.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where were you, Ruben, when I was looking for somebody who could cook? Seriously. Oh, here's the thing. If you wonder why you're here, it's because of the connections we have with other women who want to empower women. And LaTrivia is one of those women. And just so you know how I met LaTrivia, it was Mary Beth Conley, who's the anchor for here in Memphis for CBS. Mm-hmm. That's the power of women helping women.
Yes.
And we definitely have to have you back because it's such inspiration. There's more backstory to this, so you're going to have to get back to Women's Wisdom Network and Realty Times to get the rest of this story. But in the meantime, I want to thank you both for sharing your time here today and your very personal story about you and your climb to the Olympics, and Ruben and you as a couple doing great things for the Millennial Millionaire movement, and how you are helping families across our city and our community to live better lives with more intention and purpose. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Terry Murphy for the Women's Wisdom Network. Join us again for another segment of Realty Times News.